Good evening, everyone. Hope you had a decent weekend. I've got a lot of news and information for you today. I didn't at first, honestly, but you know, as usual, as the day goes on, it's I'm saying evening because it's still afternoon. It's like 4:08 Eastern right now, but by the time this uploads, it'll be closer to evening. But yeah, there's some interesting things going on, interesting things happening. I'm gonna make some suggestions to people, and you just do with it what you will. But I was listening to BP News, Robert. Some people might know who he is from. I don't know his last name. I think the dude lives in Idaho or something. But anyway, I was listening to his live stream just ended a few minutes ago on BP News, talking about how Fox News or faux news anyway was saying war is imminent. That's what they were saying, okay? The mainstream media here, okay? Not somebody else. And supposedly B-52s were sent over the Caribbean near Venezuela, and it looked like bombs might drop. It looked like some stuff may go down. Then they did a U-turn apparently and turned back around. I'm just like, okay, that's weird. That's strange. I don't know what the deal is. But then they sent out a bunch of NOTAMs, I guess, over the last day or so. Specifically today, NOTAMs, I guess, notice to airmen. And they've closed off a lot of the airspace. So I'm like, okay, you have my attention. When stuff like that happens, I'm like, yeah, pay attention. We've seen these kind of things before, and nothing significant has happened, at that time, but we're at a different time now. At least it appears that way. We're in a time of total chaos and insanity, and I did a live stream yesterday, and I shared Pastor Ben Faircloth's message that he put out 7 years ago called The Bipolar States of America, which sounds very, very offensive, right? Especially for anybody who has bipolar disorder or, has family members or whatever, but that have this disorder. But that's not what I was referring to. The prophetic message that he received on 12/2/18, so almost 7 years ago now, was talking about how the United States really doesn't know what it's doing. And at that time, the dumpster was still president at that time as well. And, and God was basically saying, you people are bipolar. I mean, your leadership is bipolar, your nation is bipolar, you're bipolar. All right. Now, like I said, I know that sounds very offensive, but listen to the message if you want. Don't listen to my live stream. It's way too long and convoluted and everything else. It's a mess. I was just having fun, mostly. But I mean, listen to his message. Specifically the prophetic words at the beginning. Just go to Benjamin Faircloth YouTube channel, type in Bipolar States of America. You should be able to find it pretty easily. Because when I saw what happened the other day between Mamdani and Trump, it reminded me of that message. And I thought it was like a 2-3-year-old message or whatever. I was shocked to find out that it was 7 years ago. I was like, wow. Lots happened in the last 7 years. It takes a long time to get here. But if you listen to that message, specifically the prophetic word at the beginning, you'll see that we're here now. You'll see that message is spot on. It just wasn't spot on 7 years ago, but 7 years later, yeah. I challenge anybody to say that we're not bipolar in this country, and our leadership all the way down. Nobody knows what's going on from day to day to day. It's just like people change their mind like they change their underwear. It is insanity. There seems to be no rhyme or reason to anything. We're led to believe that, oh yeah, they're playing 4D chess or 5D chess or whatever chess, and they're smarter than we are and they're such geniuses. No, I don't think so. I really don't think so. I think it's all chaos, confusion, and insanity. And if they drop bombs on Venezuela, like Hal Turner's reporting, HalTurnerRadioshow.com, take it for what it's worth. Maybe he's right, maybe he's wrong. He also put out some covert intel that I couldn't read because I don't have a subscription to that, but basically talking about how the bear and the dragon country are all involved in this now, and they probably were from the very beginning, but now it seems to be, pretty evident, pretty clear. And how it appears that tomorrow, the 25th, maybe they might drop some bombs. there could be an attack on Venezuela tomorrow. So, hey, take it for what it's worth. Do your own research, like I've said, for many, many, many years. Check out HalTurnerRadioShow.com, the message from Pastor Ben Faircloth from 7 years ago. The BP News live stream that Robert put out, very informative. He has something set up that people might be interested in. It's free. It's a text alert thing where, because some people, I guess, they stay up 24 hours a day, and they listen for things, and they watch things, and they check things. People like New York Prepper or whoever else, and I guess they never sleep. I don't know, but anyway, you could sign up for free text alerts through BP News if you wanted to, Blazing Press News, and get information. It's free. It's like, hey, if you want it, he offers it. So check out his website, or excuse me, his YouTube channel, BP News, the live stream he just put up. Rewind it to the very beginning, and you'll see the ticker tape at the bottom. There's a phone number there that you can sign up for free text alerts. If you want to know what's going on and when, or if you want to know when the bombs are dropping, people that stay up 24 hours a day, I guess they'll let you know. I don't know what to say. Really, honestly, I've been thinking a lot about this earlier today, because when I was listening to, it's like, okay, well, we have Thanksgiving a couple days from now, right? Well, it's like, well, you know what? It's not unheard of for military troops to have leave canceled, which apparently I'm hearing in Southern Command, they canceled leave, Thanksgiving and Christmas leave. That's not unheard of. When it seems like some operations may be imminent. It's not unheard of for people to be deployed during the holidays and miss, these days. I did in Desert Shield, Desert Storm. I missed Thanksgiving and Christmas in 1990, excuse me. I missed that year. It's not unheard of, is my point. They don't care. They don't care that you miss your holidays, okay? They don't care. They don't care about you. They don't care about me. One thing Michael Jackson got right, I know Michael Jackson, but one thing he always got right was his song, all they got to say is they don't really care about us. You're damn right. They don't. They don't care about you, me, or anybody else. So yeah, they'll deploy troops, at any time. And they don't care if people miss holidays. They don't care if they screw up your holidays. They ruin your holidays. They don't care if people get stuck on tarmacs at airports. They don't care if they get stuck in the air and have to circle round and round and round. They don't care if you get to your destination. They do not care. So it's like I've said for years. Listen, don't listen, ignore me, whatever. Like I said for years, if you're going to travel, you're going to go somewhere, pack like you can't return. Have a plan. Don't be a burden upon other family members or friends or whoever you're going to. Make sure you're ready so you have what you need and you're prepared and you're ready in case you can't get back out to the airport, in case you can't get enough gas to get back home, in case the weather holds you up, in case something happens, in case you have to live real life planes, trains, and automobiles, kind of like people did during the government shutdown. It was just earlier than Thanksgiving, but it was still a real life planes, trains, and automobiles for a lot of people. So just be prepared. Just be ready. If there's something you need or want or whatever, I would get it today. Okay, if you can afford it, if you can. Get out, get what you need. Because if they start dropping bombs sometime tomorrow, I'm almost done with this. I don't want to be on here too long. I'm just sharing what's on my heart and my mind about all this. If they start doing that, everything's going to change pretty quick. Gas prices, grocery prices skyrocket, everything's going to change pretty quick. Like I said, airspace being shut down, maybe not over the continent of the United States right away, but in certain other areas, it could change very quickly. It really could. And people could get stuck over the holidays, wherever they're at, if they even get to their destination. So then again, maybe everything's wonderful. Everybody has a happy Thanksgiving. Everything's great. No bombs dropping, no nothing. But this is there's two things that got my attention. I'm going to backtrack a little bit. I was watching personally, on a personal level, 922, 923, which is actually yesterday, or what was it, Saturday and Sunday, so basically this last weekend. because that's 11/22, 11/23, but it's also, November meaning Nov, 9th month of the year, 9/22, 9/23. Personally, I didn't make a big deal about it. I didn't mention it too much. I might have shared it with a few people. I don't recall, but I was just watching it personally. I was thinking, okay, well, it seems like everything's cool. Everything's okay for the most part. Some reports here and there, threats here and there, people need to die for this reason or that reason because they defied the dumpster's orders and whatever else, same old, Marjorie Taylor Greene, blah, 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 and I'm just like, okay, distraction here, distraction there. But then something happened I thought was kind of interesting. The leaflets that were dropped. Apparently leaflets that were dropped warning Maduro to give up power by our country. Supposedly leaflets were dropped warning him and telling him, you need to give up power. You need to leave your country. You need to get out. Supposedly that's part of the covert intel that he may very well do that. Be protected by Colombia or the Bear, the Dragon country or whatever. I don't know. But supposedly there could be evacuations of Maduro, his regime, family, whatever, whoever, they want to have evacuated or whoever can be evacuated before the bombs drop. So I thought that was interesting that leaflets were apparently dropped because it reminded me of something. And I didn't put two and two together at first. And I didn't even contact a person about this. So maybe they'll listen to the video or I might contact them later on. But I got a text message this morning. And the question was, does 12/19 mean anything to me? The date 12/19. And most of the time I don't pay attention to too many dates, right? But I was just like, not really. I mean, I've heard some things about that, some stuff that I don't share publicly that people share with me. But I heard that 12/19 might be the day that the comet hits. I don't know. I doubt it. This is what I told him. I said, I don't know. I said, I wouldn't bet on it. That's just what I heard. I don't know if it's true or not. You just hear things. You read things. You hear things. People send you stuff, speculation, ideas, whatever else. I just, I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe, maybe not. But the other thing was that I thought was even more interesting than that was I'd heard a while back that could be a stock market crash. I'm like, okay, well, we've heard that for years and years and years and years. Probably not. But then again, somebody else, paying attention to the stock market, paying attention to, what's going on in the economy and, the bear market, or excuse me, the bond market and, and all the rest of this stuff. And I'm just like, other than that, I mean, I really didn't pay too much attention to what may or may not happen on 12/19. Then it hit me a few minutes ago, actually. I was 12/19. That's actually... certain days kind of just stick with me because 12/19 is the day after my folks' anniversary, wedding anniversary. Okay, which is a huge deal for them, of course. So I'm like, okay. But then I think, I haven't looked it up, but I think that was the release of the B.O. Big Mike movie. They produced it, Leave the World Behind. If people remember that from a couple of years ago. I tried to share clips from that thing and I got copyright strikes. It wasn't going to happen. It was a Netflix release, Leave the World Behind, produced by the Obamas. It was a pretty big deal. I think it was like 2-3 years ago, maybe. I think the release date of that movie was 12/19. And the reason I bring that up and the reason I think about that is because there's a scene in that movie. There's a lot of very interesting things in that movie. Dialogue, and, just the stuff they show in that movie, frightening, absolutely frightening, and, in my opinion, incredibly realistic, and probably very, very accurate for the times we're living in and will be living in. But there was a scene in the movie where Ethan Hawke's character, he's the actor, I can't remember his name in the movie, Clay, I think it was. But anyway, he is trying to find somebody because they got a power outage. Everything's out. Most things aren't working, but I think he has an electrical vehicle or whatever. Maybe not, gas. I can't remember. I can't recall. It's been a while. But anyway, there's a scene where he is driving along and there's a drone in the sky and there's all this red stuff. And from a distance, it looked like smoke or powder or something. And it's all this red stuff just coming down. This was after the cyber attack, after the power outages, after everything else. Okay, so we're seeing none of that yet. But it just reminded me of this, you know. And as he gets closer and closer, he realizes that what's being dropped from the sky is actually red leaflets, like little pamphlets. Okay, and he picks them up, and his son actually knows what it says, and it's in Arabic, and it says "Death to America," and very interesting. And they're red and black, mostly red, but I think with black lettering on them. And depending upon where you are in the country, in the film, you either got them from North Korea, you got them from, some Arabic country. I think there were some in Spanish as well. Don't quote me on that. But certain areas of the country got leaflets dropped, because nobody could communicate with anybody because there were cyber attacks, power outages and whatnot. So unless you had a satellite phone, you really couldn't communicate with anybody. But there were leaflets that were dropped in certain regions of the country in different languages. So if you couldn't read them, none of them were English as far as I know. But some people, they knew what it meant from, like, his son knew from a video game he played or whatever. And he said, yeah, I've seen that lettering before. I've seen that writing before. It means death to America. It was on a video game I played or whatever the case may be. I believe that movie was released on 12/19. I believe it was. I could be wrong about that. So, the person that asked me about 12/19, and they said they were praying and they got that date in their spirit, 12/19. Didn't mean much to me at the time. I just told them what I had heard that could be a possibility, which is like, 6 days before Christmas kind of thing, right? So I was just like, yeah, I said, that's what I heard. But the more the more the day has gone on, this was earlier this morning, and the more things have been coming out, reports and whatnot, I put it together. I'm pretty sure Leave the World Behind was released on 12/19. And then I started thinking about the pamphlets because they dropped leaflets. Supposedly they dropped leaflets on Venezuela so Maduro could get the leaflets to tell him to evacuate, to get out. So, all of that to say, tomorrow could be it. I'm not saying it is. I don't know. I'm not prophesying anything. I'm not guaranteeing it. I'm not promising. I'm not saying thus saith the Lord. I'm saying could be. So if it is, you might want to get what you need tonight and get done what you need to get done. And, maybe everybody has a great Thanksgiving and everything's wonderful and they can travel to and from and everything's great. Then again, maybe not. A lot of it might depend on where you live. Might depend on where people fly out of and fly into. Might depend on a lot of things. So, heads up. Heads up again. That's what I'm calling this. Heads up. ... Again. Because last time I did a heads up. This time it's a heads up again. And I guess we'll just see what happens. But anyway, that's it. I think I got everything out I wanted to regarding this. I think I told everybody everything I needed to. Can't think anything else. Made the suggestions to check some certain things out if you want to. I'll share things to my Substack and I'll share posts and whatever as I get more, but I'm kind of taking a backseat to all this. It's been overwhelming and very burdensome for many people for many years, and I pay attention. I'm looking at what's going on, but I'm also trying to enjoy the weather, enjoy the outdoors, while we have nice weather and outdoors before we get hit with an Arctic blast and, rain and all the other kind of stuff. And, they've been trailing the skies like crazy today, so I know we're getting bad weather coming in. So I just, kind of staying on the down low a little bit here, and just reporting what I can when I can. But I'm just going to kind of chill and just report some things here and there. But anyway, if tomorrow's the day, if they start dropping bombs tomorrow or whatever, you might want to get whatever you need or whatever you want, whatever whatever you're led to do, whatever you need to do. I ran some errands this morning, not even knowing about this. I needed an oil change. I needed to get some more groceries. I wanted to put a battery in my watch, stuff like that. I just ran some errands and everything before work today, just because I had the time, and just because I figured, hey, it's Thanksgiving week. Maybe things won't be open. Maybe they won't be, the things I'm used to having open. Maybe they won't be. People might want to shut their store down a little early. I don't know. I wasn't going to take the risk. So I just get done what I can get done when I'm able to. So my suggestion to you is to do the same. So get her done, as Larry the Cable Guy would say. All right, I'm going to go. Y'all have a great evening. Take care. God bless. Bye-bye.